What up guys, it's Adrian from Motorcycle, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I managed to make a quick $1,000 and some other consistent money from Harley-Davidson stock, even though Harley stock only goes down. Now, first and foremost, I want to make a couple things clear on who I am and who I am not. One, this is not financial advice. I have no financial training, studies, anything like that. I'm just some guy on the internet, so don't take this as advice, take this as me sharing my story. Second thing is, even though I don't like Harley stock, I do own a Harley-Davidson V-Rod. I love my bike. I'm not here to bash or whatever. I just strictly am looking at numbers and facts. So yeah, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, as you should with anything on the internet. On that note, I guess I should tell you why I'm not a huge fan of Harley-Davidson stock, and did a lot of homework on this company. In 2014, the shares used to sell for $70 per share, and this week they've been selling for $35. The company is literally worth half of what it was. It's not just my opinion either. On Yahoo Finance, they had 22 analysts looking at Harley-Davidson stock for the end of February. 5 out of 22 recommended buying the stock. The other 17 didn't. Why aren't they recommending it? Lately, when Harley has been in the news for financial stuff, it's never really been a good thing. They were pointing fingers at Trump, saying that his tariffs and his trade war was really hurting their business, but they had their own failures, regardless of whatever your political views on that might be. Anyway, long story short, there's a whole laundry list of bad news for Harley in the last year, year and a half. The real question is, despite all this bad news, how do I still manage to make money on a stock that just keeps going down? And that's what I'm going to be sharing here. And it's pretty simple, 3-step process, but I've managed to get this pretty down pat. So hopefully I can explain it to you guys in a way that is easy to follow. All right, step 1 is all about being ahead of the curve. So stock prices fluctuate based on news. So if news is good, stock price goes up. News about the company is bad, stock price goes down. Simple, right? So how do we play that to our advantage? Well, we want to know what news is going to be coming out about Harley before it happens, and then take advantage. So if we know the price is going to be going up in the future, we buy ahead of time. How do we do that? We subscribe to alerts, let us know what's going to be happening with Harley-Davidson before it happens, but I'll get into that a little bit more a little bit later in this video. So now that we know there's some news coming up down the road that's going to be making Harley price go up, we buy our stock. Or do we? No. First, we want to find out, is this news for sure going to be good and make the price go up, or could it possibly be bad? So when you think about news reports that make price fluctuates for the stock market, you probably think about or hear a lot about earnings reports. Earnings reports is every quarter a company will say, this is how much we made, this is what our expectations were, and I don't mess with that. So I stay away from quarterly reports because there's just no way of predicting how it's going to go. Instead, I look at 2 things that historically, for me, have always managed to make me money on Harley stock. The first one is Harley-Davidson dealer meetings. Every year they have a dealer meeting. It's where they share all their latest and greatest news, what they're going to be changing for some of the models that are already out, what new promotions and gear, accessories, parts, apparel, marketing plans, etc. that they're going to be having for the coming year, and they share that with all their dealers, but they also share that with the media. And the media eats that up and they publish stories galore on this. Why? Because if you're the media, you don't want to wait for your customers, your readers, to find out this news on 10 other different websites before you get around to posting it. So as soon as Harley does something new, you jump on it and you write all about it, and that gets people buzzing and talking about it. That gets investors' ears all perked up and they're all excited, and that drives the Harley price right up. And that's where you don't want to buy, that's where you want to sell, which is step 3, knowing when to sell. So what I do typically is I'll buy about a month before the event. As soon as I get an alert that there's an event coming up, I'll look at what's happening with the quarterlies, etc., and I usually buy 1 month before that event. And then I hold it, and then on the day of the event or the day after the event, depending on how the market's going, that's when I sell. Now you kind of understand the general consensus, the general idea. Know what's going to be happening ahead of the stock price changing. You buy early, you sell when that price happens in your favor, and then you get the heck out. Rinse, wash, repeat. I know that's really high level, so for the rest of the video, I'm going to be sort of doing this like a question and answers. So I have a bunch of questions that you guys might want to know to better understand what my process is. The first one is, how do I get ahead of the curve? So what I use is a service called Google Alerts. It's google.com/alerts. It's totally free. You can go there and you can fill in whatever keywords you want. So you can type in Harley dealer meeting. Personally, I like the alerts because instead of me going out looking for news, the news comes to me. So it makes my life easy. At this point, you're probably asking, well, how much money could I have made? Well, I got the alert on December 18th, and I bought hog shares at $35.09. I sold them on the day of the event, which was January 14th, less than a month later, at $41.35. That made me 17.8% return in less than a month. That is crazy good. So if you guys are wondering, well, what would that mean for you? If you had bought roughly around the same time that I did, and you had put in roughly about $5,000 American, you would have walked away with an extra $900. From there, you could also do a little bit of day trading because on those days the price was really volatile. So you could have played that a few times, made yourself a few extra $100. Again, I'm not here to tell you guys how to spend your money or whatever. I just want to give you guys almost like a book report of my own success with Harley stock. Because I think that it's kind of a cool story, especially if it is about motorcycles. It sort of gives us something that we can, if you're a viewer of my channel, we can all kind of talk about. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, why not just hold the stock? You've made 17%. That's great, right? For the first 2 weeks, the stock price stayed relatively strong. This is after the dealer meeting happened. I got a full article. I'll link to it down below. umotorcycle.com is my website. You guys can check it out. I do a lot more articles and content there than I do on YouTube. After those first 2 weeks, the price dropped and the price went down per share to less than what I bought it for. Meaning if I had held Harley stock, not only would I have lost my 17 or 18% profit, I would have lost some of my principal too. And that's why personally I never hold Harley stock, because it is not a stock that I believe in for the long term. So yeah guys, that's my 3-step process: is get alerts, make sure I'm ahead of the curve, buy early, sell right when the hype is kind of, everyone's buzzing and talking about whatever new thing Harley has coming for this year, and then take all my money and run away and don't look at the stock again until there's some other event that I know is going to be favorable for sure for Harley-Davidson, because that means it's going to be favorable to me. Buy a month before that, sell on the day of the event, rinse, wash, repeat. That's what I do. I keep it simple. All right, guys. That's it for me. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That would mean a lot to me. It would help me grow my channel. If you hit subscribe, I'll show you guys more cool motorcycle content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Ride safe. Peace.